Welcome to Billy Review Stuff. Here's another Cosmic Legion figure that I had where I was super excited for, so I ordered two of them. I have not got my all-in yet, but I did get Kannox Vull in. And I was excited for him because he's the first figure that we are getting in hand that has where it's brute scale. It has where it has that slightly larger proportion than 1.0, but still has where it's compatible with 1.0 Mythic Legion and Cosmic Legions figures. So I'm going to go ahead and get him out of the box. Okay, Billy from the future here. The couple things I had trouble with Kannox Vull was one, the tubes. Each tube, obviously the short one goes for the arm, each tube has a different connector on it. So it's like, you know, like maybe there's an angle cut out of a circle, or it has a curve into it or something like that on the end of the tube to plug in to where it needs to go. So it should have where it's no problem matching it up, but it still has where some of them just kind of don't want to stay there. So I think it's better to have them come out than to be glued in than tear out, but it's your figure. You can decide what you want to do with it. If you want to glue them in, you can glue them, just do like a little tack, or blue tack it in there. Maybe that'll hold a little bit better. And then the other issue I had was the fact that the pelvis has where it's not injected molded like old 1.0s were and stuff like that. It has where it's made of the same, basically same kind of plastic the weapons are. And it has where it's like that two-part mold that comes together and has the peg inside there for this. It was very hard to pull off there. I was almost worried I was going to break it. And then before I put it back together, I put a little shock oil on there. So if I do take it apart again, it'll be easier to take apart. But heat up that torso some before you pull him apart. If you feel resistance and it's kind of like hard to kind of twist left and right, just don't. Heat it up first, pull it apart, put some kind of lubrication in there, or it'll have where there was some paint on mine in there too, but it was around the bottom part of it, not on the ball so much, that cracked off. But the peg doesn't look damaged yet, but we're gonna, only time will tell. But I'm optimistic. Okay, first thing I wanted to go over with accessories was this mace. This mace is fantastic. I'm excited. It'll go into legions very well, Mythic Legions specifically. It has where it's very well painted. I like the growdiness on it. But when this wave was announced and they had where they had the reveal party and they were talking about all the pieces and stuff, I specifically asked if this would fit on like an ogre scale weapon. Eric Treadway said, yeah, we could do that. Fantastic. And I was disappointed when I pulled it off, and it was not the ogre scale peg, but he surprised the crap out of me, because you know what? Here's a Mythic Legion's ogre scale weapon, and it fits in there. So, boom. It's mace. It's not flying off. Wiggly waggly. Fits perfectly. Thank you, Eric. Thank you guys at Four Horsemen. I feel heard. Haha. But moving on. He has a separate set of hands for gesturing, you know. He has the kind of claw hands there, both on the same side. Has the hinge side to side. He has his normal weapon holding hands. He has an alternate head of a more stoic, a more reasonable character, you know? And also, you know, you can put a tube in the side of his head because he's Tube Man. But I'm going to go ahead and start breaking him down, because not only is it a fantastic figure, it's the first brute scale figure we have in hand. I believe Poxus was supposed to be first, but this is the first one here. I'm really hoping for Rising Suns we get a brute scale barbarian. We should, with all the parts that are here, it should happen. But he has articulation head, ball joint at the head. Works great. Tube pops out, but tube pops back in. Tube pops out. His arms can go out so far with the limitation of, you know, the muscle body there. But, it's 1.0. It has where it's solid. It has where it looks good. His paint on his body is very good, because it has where it's that dark indigo kind of color, but then there's a brushing over top of it. Let me get this in close here, if you can see that. It's a brushing over top with a little bit of a mix of gray and purple, it looks like. It's very lightly done. It has where it brings out the rippling alien muscles. But he gets so far on his arms. He has where he has a unique gauntlet kind of over here that's part arm, part gauntlet, that has like the elbow piece there that looks really cool. Regular hinge there, twist, obviously. If I put this back down and I plug the tube back in, get back in there. Okay, you could glue these tubes in if you wanted to. That's on you. I'm okay with like leaving them off. It is what it is, but like he should be able to. I think this tube is too short. I'm gonna say I think this tube is too short. I think this tube could have been a little longer. The tube system here, it looks cool, but like, man, these tubes are fighting me. But he could go to 90 right there. Stay tube. It twists at the gauntlet. The tube's free. There we go. Tube's down. Hinge at the wrist. He has a ball joint at the bottom of his torso there, but it's hidden by his stomach armor, waist armor, but it still has the range hidden in there. It's just limited by that. And it's not like a hard plastic, so it's not too bad to work with there. He has no front skirt piece there sticking in there. Well, no front skirt plastic piece. It just has where it's the bare material there, which it works out good. Can go so far forward, so far tube. These tubes are killing me. But twist at the top of the hip. He's got less than 90 in the knee. Also, I know there's a warning for IS, but for Kannox here, you definitely want to heat up these knees before you move them. After that, they should be fine, but they were very stiff. And then also, at least on mine, it seemed like the foot here was very stiff, so I heated it up so I can move the joint around so I can get that ankle rocker going. Same thing here with the cybernetic leg. Very stiff there. Just heat it up and then just kind of work it back and forth because it's still very stiff. But he's got strong knees. So far down on his real foot, so far down on his cybernetic foot, so far forward, so far forward. It's also where it pushed a little bit is popping out there, but it's fine. It's also from heated up. It's easy to remove these. These should be 1.0 compatible too. And then he also has rocker on his cybernetic foot. And even the bottom of his cybernetic foot has like tons of detail in there. It's pretty awesome. Now, the other really cool part is you can pull off his bottom foot there and take the foot wrap off. And then boom, you have a bare leg, a bare lower leg. And it looks great. I'm super excited about this with, again, like, I do love how Cosmics is turning out, but I love Mythics more, and I'm excited for this in Mythics. It's like it's that molded wrap right there, and boom, now he has a bare like leg there. I can swap this out with another one, painted different colors, stuff like that. It's something that's really cool to me. Now I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna take off his shoulder pauldron. I'm gonna pull this plug out, which is also, it should be sized for 1.0. Let me go grab a 1.0 figure real quick. All right, I got a 1.0 dwarf here, and the tube system, let me pull off one of these. Pull off, there we go. The tube, okay, these are really big shoulder pads for this. It fits right in there. So you can add tubes to your dwarf if you want to, or a jetpack, or anything your heart and imagination can figure out. So that's something you can do. Let's go ahead and just take his head off here. He has a chest piece, which is pretty awesomely detailed. That really makes him there. Let's put that back on there. Yeah, really thickens up his neck. Love that. And then let's pop apart that torso. So there we go. Whew. Whew, that torso was ball was really on there. That was really nice to see here. I want to see what's going on with that. Ooh. So it has where his This is not like a normal soft. This is not what's usually on here. This has where it's like it's a hard plastic here for this. It has where it's its own thing there. This doesn't look like anything else in Legions. Yeah, this I'd be careful with. Cause like this had where it was hard to move around there. I think you may want to just, yeah, when you mess around with this, definitely heat up this torso to pull off, because this is part of that in one way or the other. And like, I'm afraid that like it may snap or break off if it's too tight. So I'm going to freaking go ahead and oil this up too, just in case. Just because it's not built like the other waist pieces. Because like the waist pieces on like the normal, yeah, the normal things, it's like injected molded plastic. And then this peg is in there. And it has where it can twist around freely and stuff like that. This one does not twist around. So be careful with this. I'm going to go ahead and put a little oil in this before I put them back together. But other than that, I mean, like, it's a solid figure. I would just be careful with the waist here, because it's that hard plastic. You see the seam down there, and however this is attached in there, you can see there's a little bit of paint from like, I guess, yeah, from the overspray is in there, and that was kind of like, that was a little rough getting it off, and I'm a little worried about it. I don't think I've done any damage to it so much. I don't know. There's a little line down there, but that may just be where that's painted too. But I'm going to be careful with this. So I think everyone should be careful with this right here, just in case. And yeah. Kannox Vull. Do I think you need him in the collection? Yes. I like him a lot. If you like Cosmic Legions, if you like Cosmic and Mythic Legions, I feel like he's a good kind of mix of both there. I do like all his awesome armor. I think you could mix it in a little bit if you want to into Mythic Legions. Just other than this right here, I would just take this off, heat this up, take it off, put a little bit of oil in there, and just be careful when you take them apart right there, because as much as all these things are pop and swap, I don't trust this one right here. That's it. That's from Billy Beige. But yeah, pick up a Kannox Vull if you do have a chance to get one at retail. Get them in a trade, that'd be fantastic. I can't wait to mess with other brute scale figures coming, but I am going to be aware of this. This has been Billy Beige. See you at LegionsCon, and don't forget to subscribe.